You wanted the best, and you got the best. The hottest band in the world on vinyl, Kiss. Welcome to another episode of Todd's Turntable Talk. Before we get started, like always, please make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that bell notification to let you know whenever a new episode drops on our channel. So I went to the record store the other day and got me a new record, and it's one I've been eyeing for a while, and it's a kind of a dicey subject, and we're talking about greatest hits albums. And the album I'm talking about is the newest compilation from Kiss entitled Kissworld, the best of Kiss. And I got the Walmart exclusive version, and it's a red with yellow splatter vinyl. Haven't opened it yet, but thought a video is the best place to do that. So we're going to peel the wrapping off here. So it's funny. So here's the cover, and we got the back here. And the weird thing is, so we have songs spanning almost every album, not all of them. The Hotter Than Hell isn't represented on here. The Elder isn't represented on here. Hot in the Shade is not represented on here. So there's a few albums that aren't represented. But the funny thing is, so we got the cover here, and we have the current members of the band for the greatest hits, right? But on this album, there's only 2 songs on the entire soundtrack here that feature this lineup. And it's the last 2 songs on here. The rest of them, it's a lot of original era Kiss as well as non-makeup Kiss. So I just think it's weird that you're going to put out a anthology greatest hits kind of thing, but you're only going to include the people who are in the band right now, especially in a band like this when there's so many different people. They could have done something cooler, like, you know, some sort of collage of everybody that was ever in the band, or not even put the band members on the front at all, just put the name of it in some cool design or something. Because fair weather people who don't know any better might look at this and think, well, these people are on every song. Well, they're barely on the album at all. But I digress. It's all part of the whole... It's part of the whole history of the band where they sort of acknowledge that the original members existed and everything. And I'm not saying that the original members should be still the ones demanded to be, you know, on the albums and all that stuff. That's... No. But when you're going to make a compilation acknowledging the entire history of the band, you would think you would include most of those people on the cover or on the back even. But it's still a cool collection. Although calling it the best of Kiss and making it a greatest hits album, and then you have certain songs on here, like you have I'm a Legend Tonight from the Killers compilation, which was a new song they recorded for that greatest hits compilation. But a greatest hit? Really? Not really. You know, it does have some good songs on it. And I mean, I got it for that very reason. But songs like I'm a Legend Tonight and Shandy, and Christine 16, I wouldn't necessarily call a greatest hit that you put on a greatest hits compilation. There's so much better songs and other hits that they could have put on here instead. So now to go ahead and bust it open. So we open it and we got a really cool picture of the band in the beginning here in the front or the inside cover. Original Fearsome Four there, the Fantastic Four as Gene called them at the Hall of Fame. And again, the track lists, just same as on the back, but with writing credits, it looks like. Yeah. And then when we crack it open and look inside, there is literally nothing in here but the record. There's no credits, no liner notes, nothing of like who played on what, nothing like that. Take the record out though, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. This really cool red and yellow splatter. That's pretty neat. I like that. That's really cool. It makes me sad though a little bit that there's no album credits at all. Other than who wrote the songs, there's no there's no credits as to who played on what or what albums they're from or anything like that, which for a greatest hits, that's kind of weird, I think. Yeah, and the second one is the same. So that part I think is really strange, that we don't get any sort of credits as far as who was in the band at the time. So again, I know there are hardcore Kiss fans that know for a fact that the people on the front of this record didn't play on every song. But Kiss doesn't really go out of their way to let you know who did play on any of these songs. And again, you have the current lineup and the original lineup on the inside, but nothing of Bruce Kulick or Eric Carr, both of which are on multiple songs on here. Nothing of Vinnie Vincent, which I guess I understand that one. But none of the other members who were ever in the band that were part of this compilation are represented on the cover, inside, or in the credits or anything. So that makes me kind of sad. So listening to it, it's an odd compilation. It's not to say the songs are bad or I don't like it, but it flows really weird. Kicking it off with such a mild, like, meh greatest hit as Crazy Nights, going right into Rock and Roll All Night, into I Was Made for Loving You, and into God Gave Rock and Roll to You. Those last three are ones you'd figure towards the end of a show, and an album too. And these aren't, it's not in chronological order in any sense of the word. It's kind of all over the place, which is okay, but the flow is really weird because you get those four, and then you flip the second side. You go to Detroit Rock City to Beth, to Heaven's on Fire, like Lick It Up, Heaven's on Fire, Tears Are Falling. Like, it just flows strange. I don't know quite how to explain that where it doesn't sound like I'm being overly picky. But the press quality is great. It sounds awesome. The pressing is really quiet. There's not really a lot of surface noise or anything like that, like you might get with different colored vinyl and stuff like that. But the main selling point for this for me, and a big reason I got it, is so the Kiss album Sonic Boom was never officially released worldwide on vinyl that I'm aware of. There's a lot of bootleg versions and unofficial releases that people have made, but Kiss never officially released it, and they didn't release it with their re-releases, which I thought was really weird. They re-released every single album except for that one, and I know Sonic Boom was a Walmart thing, but the Eagles also had a Walmart thing with their Long Road Out of Eden album, and that got re-released when they re-released all their stuff. So I don't quite know why Sonic Boom never got re-released, but the only way to get Modern Day Delilah, which was the first single off of it, is to get this. It's the only way you can get it on vinyl officially, is to get this collection, and I wanted that song. Plus, what I like about a greatest hits, a good greatest hits, and this isn't a bad greatest hits, it just could have been done better. What I like about a good greatest hits is Sometimes you want to listen to one of your favorite bands, and Kiss is definitely one of my favorites, but you don't want to get up and switch the records all the time. You don't want to listen to the whole discography. Maybe you just want to gloss over some songs you love. And this really does check those boxes. Every era of Kiss is represented on here, which is nice. We have original era, we have non-makeup, we have reunion, we have current. It's all represented on here. So it does check all the boxes as far as all the kind of Kiss stuff you get on this greatest hits. I got this for $19.95 plus tax. You can get it at Walmart. Is the version I got. There's also a yellow version. There's other stores have different versions, but I really thought the red yellow splatter was super cool. So that's the version that I got. And that's going to do it for our review unboxing of this. Hope you guys enjoyed it, found it informative. Hope you are subscribing, because our contest for the vinyl giveaway is ending June 30th, when we're going to be doing the big drawing to see who wins the first album in our very first giveaway. So check out the video previously for that. And we have a lot more content coming in the days to come. So we'll see you again for another episode of Todd's Turntable Talk.